All right, man. Here we go, man. Should be ready by now. All right, here we go. Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Branch here, Strike7Sports.com. This is another episode of Strike 7 Sports Podcast. Joined by my co-hosts Brian Bonner and Leo the Seaberry. This is another episode of Strike 7 Sports Podcast. So we're back after a little long break. Finally back, and we're just gonna dive right into it. And we're gonna talk about the Memphis Tigers and what has been going on recently. With the program, basketball program. It's been a little quiet ever since the notice of allegations or accusations, whatever it was, the notice of them doing wrong with the NCAA. Memphis has just continued to do what they do. They were able to lure Kendrick Davis from the transfer portal. And after that, it's been pretty much smooth sailing so far. Nothing hasn't really came about in regards to punishment. Nothing new that I know of, or any information that has been put out. But today, Kendrick Davis was on 92.9 FM ESPN talking with Jason and John of the Jason and John show. And there was a quote that's pretty much stood out after all the things he was saying. It was in regards to how Memphis is going to replace those players that may have departed the program or still in limbo if they're going to come back or go to the NCAA. So the quote is, "We ain't gonna go too much into deep. Well, my bad. We ain't gonna go too much off into deep details. We got some stuff in the works. We got big things coming." End quote from Kendrick Davis. So I just want to ask y'all, how y'all, after that quote, how do y'all decipher that in regards to the bombshells that Penny's supposed to haven't played right now?
I'll take this one first. I'm a wait and see approach. Right now, things aren't looking too good in my opinion. But I mean, because Penny made the tournament, he gets a little bit of pass whatever happens this year. I know there's some talk about them winning a national title. I kind of laugh at that because I know that's their goal, but let's see the roster. I heard Jason Munz, I can't remember what station, I think it was on Mark Giannato's show the afternoon, Giannato and Jeffrey, that he's thinking they may land Caleb Murphy. He's South Florida transfer. He's really good. But other than that, like there are a few guys who they thought they could potentially land, like DJ Jeffries and the Sharp, that center from Western Kentucky. Sharp, I believe is his last name. But they both decided to go back to their schools. So we believe also Lester and DeAndre Williams should be back, but we have to wait for that to be official because they're testing the draft waters. But other than that, I think we should wait and see. But because Penny made the tournament last year, this year, to me, it's just see if you can build upon it. We hope they'll be able to play in the NCAA tournament, but we still don't know what the IRP is going to decide. So that's the way I look at it.
You animal on that dang bad, aren't you?
No, I'm just.
Go ahead, Leo.
It's
Go
not.
ahead, Leo.
I guess.
Go ahead, man.
You want me to finish?
Yeah, you can finish, man.
Yeah, I was saying it's not. A lot of people believe it. So I'm not trying to be a hater. I wish if they hadn't played James Wiseman. I wish if they hadn't tried to challenge the NCAA, but they did. And so there's for every action, there's good consequences and bad consequences. Right now, I think it'll be bad consequences, but I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's just a scholarship reduction, something like that. But we'll see what happens. But again, because he made the tournament last year, whatever happens this year, to me, it's just you can just say it was a rebuilding year. I know you got Kendrick Davis and a few other guys, but some of the guys that lost, I don't think they still don't have a big man. They got to get that soon. But because they made the tournament last year, as long as they're like competitive and they aren't like really, really bad, I think people will be all right with that.
Go ahead, Leo.
I think that this year, like Brian said, people are just kind of really ecstatic off the building Penny leading Coach Hardaway leading the team to the NCAA tournament. So people are still kind of stuck on that high. But you also have a segment of the fans and of like probably people might be you all who expect this team to build upon it. You don't want to sit on your laurels because that's not you didn't come here to make the tournament. You came here to win the tournament. So hopefully that they they continue to build. Like you said, what's called IRP, whatever,
Yeah,
something
everything. Yeah.
that's gonna be lingering over them, and like hopefully it's like they know before the season, so that way it's not like a bird. Like we don't want them to have a really good season and then they can't go to the tournament. At least if you can't go to the tournament, at least know beforehand. So it's just I hope if the IRP doesn't if they doesn't ruin their season, they should be back. They should be better than if they're gonna to return like a lot of. I'm telling you, to return some got like the key players from last year. Besides obviously Duran, he are not coming back. Minot's not coming back. You got a few other players, but like the core, like DeAndre should be back. Lester will be back. Veteran guys will be back. So it'll just be a continue to grow. So I mean, the expectations shouldn't be like they were last year because the raccoon class they didn't. I don't think they're getting any freshmen. They're not getting any freshmen. Like so, everybody that they have coming in is grown men. These are grown men coming in. So I guess you could say the expectations should be a little higher because it's not going to be a young team. But at the same time, we don't know what the team going to look like.
Yeah, it's true. I agree. Um, yeah, other than that, man, just like I said, it's just been like real quiet in regards to everything that's been going on with the program. As it really, no bombshells really came out yet. No players, coming out and said they're going to commit to Memphis, recently. But we should find something out about that whole IRP thing by, I would say, July, man. Because if after July, we're pretty much ramping up to go into the season. And if you haven't heard anything by then, I think they're in the clear, you know. But I wouldn't put nothing past the NCAA to like just drop something on them, like in the month of August or something that they can't complete participate in the tournament this year. So that's that. But I think they just got to operate as if nothing is happening, in my opinion. Look at Bill Self. They got the allegations as well, but they're moving like nothing has happened. You know what I'm saying? So and they won a national championship. So we'll have to see how everything plays out, man. But I'm looking forward to seeing what these big things are that Davis is talking about. So we'll see how everything shakes going forward. All right, moving right along. Talk a little bit about this stadium renovations that finally got approved by the city of Memphis and officials over the Levy Bowl. I think it's a 150 to $200 million project to renovate and modernize the home of Memphis Tigers football, according to a release from University. Elements of the project include a transformation of the stadium's west side, providing several premium seating options, creating a hospitality experience within the halo space surrounding the stadium. Other new seating options such as family boxes on the north end and party deck. Party deck, patios for student on the south end, and potential repurpose of retrofit of the east side suite tower. Project is set to be completed before the 2025 football season. So I'll just say, man, I'll start off. This might look like an upgrade to me. It looked like an actual upgrade of the stadium. This renovation right here, 150 $200 million. I'm cool with it. You got any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it looks nice. It's actually a real renovation because they spent so much money to renovate the stadium before. Like they had like a $90 million renovation, and it really didn't go well. Like you really can tell that what other renovations were done. Like you can tell where it improved it, but from what they've shown on like the pre-picks and stuff like that, it looked like that they actually, is taking time to, put an actual solid product together. So I'm I'm excited by it. It's very interesting. Like I'm actually, um, like Lord willing, like I want to be very seated, like what that final, how it plays out, and so I'm
Yeah,
excited. Like this is real, it's real special. Let's go. Obviously, it'll be nice. It'll be nice. I wish they could have a dome, but that's probably not feasible. But that would be more realistic. Like it would be like
yeah,
better, you know. But it's not realistic, so they got to make do with what they got. I would have preferred them to have to make an on-campus football stadium. That's what a lot of these big colleges have. Like bigger colleges, I know it would have been. They have the money. We can get. We just got a new recreational center. Just got a new music center that they cost like almost I think 90, $100 million. Like
right.
they have the money to build. I think they should have built one on campus. It would I think it would have been better. Maybe to make it like 40,000, maybe like 30 some thousand, 20. Because it wouldn't look like. Because most of the time the games are not sold out, so it looks like a cavernous. It's like it looks cavernous and it like it could be sometimes like there's not as many people there. So I feel like making like a 30 some thousand seat stadium would have been better because it would have looked, even if it's not as big, it looks like more people are there. So it would look better aesthetically. But hey, I can't complain. The renovation process, what they supposed to do, it looks good.
Yeah, Laura Veach said on-campus stadium would have cost 400 million. Mm,
See,
I don't know about that. 400 million? That's like an
see,
NFL. That's like NFL territory.
Well, maybe I think how it comes to it, you got to consider it's not just actually building the stadium. You may have to tear down buildings or move, you know what I mean? So I think that actually isn't as crazy as it seems. But yeah, I agree with most of what you said. This was the best they could do. It's nice. What we have preferred, a new stadium or on campus stadium? Yeah. Only thing I maybe disagree with, I'm not sure a dome. I'm not sure a dome would have been nice. I mean, this. I feel like the only way you can make a dome is if it's like you're trying to build an NFL stadium. But I don't think that would have been
Not
necessary.
really. You can have a
Name me a
dome
college dome.
without an NFL
I
team.
play
Carrier Dome.
It's the
Carrier
Alamo
Dome.
Dome. The Alamo Dome.
But that's not. But no. I mean, colleges played there, but that's not like a school. I don't know. I don't know if UTS. No, UTSA has their own stadium. But the point of all right, maybe a few, but ideally you want an outdoor stadium in college at least. NFL is a little different because you want to have a chance to host the Super Bowl. But like I think it's fine the way it is. I'm glad they made some changes. Uh, but I wouldn't be surprised in a few years if they feel like they it's time to build a new stadium that they do that. But for right now, this is not a bad consolation.
Yeah. Also, man, I think from what I also read a quote from I think it's from Veach, if I'm not mistaken, or I think it was Mary Strickland, is that they're trying to use the upgrade stadium for other events like rock concerts and things like that. So I understand why they would do it that way. But I mean, I never heard of any concerts being played at the Liberty Bowl. Have y'all?
No, not yet. But I forgot about that. I like that idea. I think that'll be pretty cool. Um, but yeah, not yet. But eventually we'll get some.
Yeah. So I mean, it's okay now. I mean, that's the best they can do. Hopefully, that's the thing that gets them over the top when it comes to joining the Big
Yeah.
12 because um SMU, not SMU, Houston, freaking Cincinnati, and UCF leaving, so they got I would say a watered down conference, but we never know what this new team is going to bring to the table. So we'll see. All right, man. We'll talk a little college football, Memphis Tigers football, and recently a poll was put out ranking the top all the coaches in the American Athletic Conference, and They have Ryan Silverfield at 7, and it's written by CBS college football writer David Cobb. Gonna go ahead and list the reason why I read it real quick. After debuting at number 11 in his first season as coach in 2020 and sliding up 2 spots to 9 last year, Silverfield again rises 2 spots this year despite his upward trajectory in the rankings. Year 3 marks a critical juncture for Silverfield, who is following 2 stalwarts of the Memphis football resurgence and Justin Fuente and Mike Norvell. Silverfield is 14-10, 8-8 in the AAC, and coming off a 6-6 season. He kept the train on the tracks, but it's unclear if the locomotive has the necessary chops to make the Tigers the class of the new look AAC in the future. End quote. All right, so Brian, real quick, who your thoughts on that assessment of Silverfield 7? Do you think it's a fair ranking?
Yeah. Can you tell me who was ahead of him? Like who, the order?
All right,
I don't know.
give me a second. Give me a second. All right, give me a second. Man, all right, I'll go there real quick. They got, of course, they got Lou Fickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou Fickle at 1, Gus Malzahn at 2, Dan Hogerson at 3, Ken, oh boy, out Navy, Ken Nalabo.
Yeah.
Willie Fritz, I don't disagree. I don't agree with that. He too high on the list. Willie Fritz, he underachieving big time. Tulane, you got Phil Montgomery at 6, at Tulsa, and you got Silver at 7. So you ain't think, Shay, thoughts?
Yeah, that's the top 3 are leaving. So while I guess I think those are fair. All those guys have accomplished more. Now, when you get to 4, 5, and 6, 4, I guess Ken has done it has been a solid coach for a long time. So I respect that one. 5, was it?
Willie Fritz.
Oh, Fritz. He's a solid coach. But I guess maybe sometimes when you think
Went
about
2-10 last year, dude.
Yeah, but sometimes when you think about a coach, sometimes you're not thinking about it like how great of a coach he is, maybe what he's doing with the school he's at. Memphis probably, in terms of a football, is a bigger football school than Tulane, in my opinion. I could be wrong. It depends on who you ask. But so I don't think that's the worst thing to put him ahead of Silverfield. Silverfield, really, if you think about it, Silverfield only has 1 winning season, 8-5 that first year, and that was with Mike Norvell's quarterback.
8-3.
Say what?
8-3.
Yeah. And so he has a lot to prove. That's why getting to a bowl game, in my opinion, was huge for him, and I'm glad they're able to do that. And this year, let's see if they can take the next step. He did lose both coordinators, so that's huge. But he is getting his quarterback back, and that's the most important thing. So let's see how they can build upon that. And I think 8 wins would be nice, but if you can somehow find yourself in the conference title conversation, that'll be even better. But yeah, the guys ahead of him, I don't think it's the end of the world. But this is a big year for Silverfield. I think he want to at least in December have a shot to make the conference title game.
Go ahead, Leo.
I really don't like the list. I really don't think the coach at Navy is. I think he's a good coach, but Navy's been down the last few years. I think like they just crowning him off of the past success. I don't think Tulane coach should be ahead of them. Willie Fritz. I mean, he actually did it. I would say I just agree with you, DB. He had done a good job at Tulane. Last season was very good, but I feel like considering what Tulane was before he got there, he got them got them to be back some sort of relevance. Come on, understand. I also understand Fickle and Malzahn, even though really, could you really say Malzahn's done more than Silverfield since he's been in the AAC, or this Gus Malzahn? He got to a championship game at Auburn, and he was the head coach there. So like, I mean, Fickle's obviously the undisputed class. So nobody's gonna dispute that. But I really don't think that. To be honest, I don't think that that list was fairly accurate as it should have been. Like I don't like the fact that Philip Montgomery ahead of him too, like y'all said.
Yeah,
I,
6.
I don't
It
think
was
that he's
6.
done. I don't think he's done that great of a job at Tulsa. They done a good job, not a great job, to where he should be ahead of Silverfield. Yeah, but I mean, Silverfield. If Silverfield was knocking it out the park, he'd be in the top 4. So there's also an indictment on him too.
Yeah, I agree. This year, man, is a critical year for him, in my opinion. I think you don't have Cincinnati on your schedule. You do play Houston and UCF, but the good thing is that they're at home. The games are at home, so that plays into your favor. But that defense has got to get straightened out, man. They lost a lot of games, man, close games, because of that defense and questionable decisions by Silverfield, in my opinion. So we'll see how everything plays out. They have the potential to do everything to go far, but we got to see how those changes affect the team. So we'll see how everything goes from there. All right, man.
I have
What's up? What
just
up?
a quick thing. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Seth should be the starter, right?
Of course.
And also, do you think they should redshirt Tevin? The reason I say they should redshirt him, give him another year, but you can also play him the 4 games, like if you have some blowouts and all that. Do you agree with that mindset?
Yeah, but that dude might transfer, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think he's transferring.
I think
Nah,
he
I
probably.
disagree with you because I talked to him and he wanted to be a. I could tell like when I was talking to him, he wants to be a man. Like he wouldn't. He's not gonna run. He's not gonna run from challenges because he knows that somebody is ahead of him, like Sue Hennigan, who established himself last season. I don't think he's gonna run from that. I think like he's not gonna be one of those guys, who wants to get out of there, when he feels like he's not gonna have a chance, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's
Yeah.
gonna take that challenge, DB, and I feel like he's gonna compete because at the end of the day, if Tevin comes in and Tevin is the better quarterback, he's gonna play.
You think so?
Nobody's gonna care about what Steph did last year. If Coach Silverfield is blown away, obviously Steph's gonna have a head start based on what he did. But if Steph slip up or Tevin steps up to the plate and plays well, he's gonna have a chance.
That's The one thing I will say. Can I finish this thought real quick?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
The one thing I will say with Tevin is he and Seth are basically starting fresh because there's a new offensive coordinator. So if it was last year's OC, then obviously Seth will have an advantage. But it's a new OC, so that does help him. He was an early and early. I saw him. I was at CP. He was at CP too, so I ran into him a few times. But yeah, I think he has a great chance. I think the first year, I don't think he expects to play. Next year, I don't think he expects to play. So that'll be Seth will be a junior by then. I believe Seth will probably be here for at least 4 years. That's just my thought. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's gonna be going to the NFL as a junior. So I think if Kevin isn't playing by year maybe 3 or 4, then I could see him leaving. But if you leave, you're going to be starting all over again. So unless you get the perfect situation to leave, I think he'll probably stay. But sometimes, I know a lot of these guys want to play, but sometimes patience is a virtue. Your time will come. You may not have a lot of years like Seth may have, but your time will come. So patience is a virtue. If he waits through, I believe we'll see the day where he plays. And that'll be great for the city of Memphis, too, to have a quarterback that's from Memphis playing for the biggest school in the city. That'll be nice.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. All right, man. So last topic of the day. It ain't Memphis related, but I just want to get y'all thoughts on what has been recently going on with the industry in regards to we're starting to see a lot of former players, regardless if it's football, basketball, not so much in baseball, but football and basketball. We've been seeing a lot of these guys come on these shows, give takes, get opportunities, say their opinions, make people mad on Twitter. And I just want to talk to y'all, ask y'all, do you think these type of guys, these type of individuals are hurting the industry in regards to, you know, they always getting these opportunities. And it's all started like I would say with to me, with the guy with Mad Dog Russo on First Tank
Mm-hmm.
going at it with JJ Redick over the shut up and I guess it was a shut up and play remark he made, and Draymond Green went on his podcast and saying he's a new media and I played the game and you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and you got all this experience to give a take, and people starting to like JJ Redick and um what his name is, Patrick Beverly coming on First Take saying how he feels about Chris Paul, and people saying that he has a future in the industry based on what those remarks. So I want to get your thoughts on that in regards to those guys coming to the space.
I'll take this one first. Yeah, I think it's a interesting thing we're viewing. JJ Redick and like Tim Legler, guys like that are really good, even though they're former players that are really good analysts. I love hearing them talk about the game of basketball. I love hearing their opinions about a certain situation. So as long as you don't make it personal to a certain degree, then it's fine. They're really objective and they're just pure basketball. So I like those guys. But Patrick Beverly, he was nice for a day. Then after that, it kind of like it was good the first day, but then after that, I'm tired of seeing him. He's made some good basketball points that I've agreed with or I've learned from, but if they don't have him on for the rest of the playoffs, it won't be the end of the world, because I think while he has been good, I think he may have more of an agenda than people like JJ Redick and Tim Legler would have.
Go ahead, Leo.
I don't think it's actually anything wrong with like. Cause obviously, I think y'all were talking about like Patrick Beverly and all them. So like I really don't think anything wrong with it. Like he's just keeping it real. Like I don't think it's hurting the industry. Like people are just talking like you get a platform, you get an opportunity to display your opinion. Like, you have all these athletes with podcasts like JJ Redick, Draymond Green, all these podcasts. I don't see anything wrong with I don't think it's hurting the industry. Everybody had their opportunity, Hey, DB, you have a podcast. We have a platform. So I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like there's nothing wrong with people. I don't care if you're a former athlete, people like us, or like I'm talking about, or you like us who know the game real well and know how to articulate their opinion. If you have the ability, you should be able to have a platform. I don't think it's hurting the industry. I don't see people are kind of in uproar at Twitter about it because Pat Bev seems like he's not this and that. He's not qualified for this. He's the one who's good at this. So what? He has an opinion. And hey, Stephen A. and those guys do it every day on TV. So and Skip and Shannon and all those people. So I don't know. I don't think it's hurting the industry. I really actually like it. I think it actually is giving some new voices to the industry. And also I don't know if y'all know who Doc Holliday is. Kind of got it.
Yeah.
Doc. Well, y'all know he's obviously he got into it with Peter Perkins and them. He was talking about
Yeah.
how Patrick Beverly and those guys, he isn't taking Patrick. A lot of those guys seem to, they have agendas. You have to
Right.
say this to say that to get where you want to be in this industry. Patrick Beverly's not on that. He doesn't have to be on that. Because first of all, he's a successful basketball player, and second of all, I don't feel like Patrick Beverly will bend to, will do. He's not going to put on a script. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's actually very refreshing to see because he's not going to say this for TV, say that for TV, when it's obviously that a lot of guys do that, and he's just not that type of guy, and I respect it and I love it.
Yeah. To me, man, it really don't bother me what these guys do because I understand the industry. I'm not bragging, but I consider myself to be more mature than a lot of people that try to attempt to do this. You know what I'm saying? Um, it just is what it is, man. This stuff you can't be on the they're not putting you on a first take if you're gonna be bored or try to be in the middle or try not to offend somebody by your takes. You know what I'm saying? They want
Mm-hmm.
people that's gonna go viral, have Twitter in an uproar. They doing it. It's intentionally done, man. It's y'all gotta. I mean, people just don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? It's the nature of the beast, man. It's the nature of the industry right now, man. It's just what it is, man. That's what we call the show First Take. It's to have hot takes. You know what I'm saying? It's a debate show. That's what it is. And you bring a guy like Patrick Beverly on there. That's what he's gonna say. That's what that type of things he's gonna do. It is what it is. So it don't bother me, man. It don't bother me the one bit that these guys are venturing out, having their own podcasts, having their own, building up their own followings. Um, it's just what it is right now, man. Just with the money these guys make right now, the resources they have, they don't really have to, if they don't want to, go and apply to get on a network to be an analyst or be a commentator. They can start their own network, their own platform. So I have no issues with it. So we don't have an issue with we talk. I think we talked about this a little bit in the chat, but an idea of Brady coming off from the football field to the commentators to the play by not well, yeah, working with play by play and get that $30 million.
No, wait. One other thing I was gonna add before, and then I'll talk about the Brady stuff. The only thing I will say, the one thing that hurts us in turn, when I'm talking about people like me, Leah, and you, I consider you. Where like the black journalists? How many of those guys do you see out there? When you see these people talk, you don't see. You know what I mean?
But it ain't journalism though. It's not journalism though. It's not
It
journalism
kind
though.
of is though. It
It's
is.
not though.
But
It's never will be.
but all right. But
Once you get
TV.
on the type, he's
But
not
the
a journalist, man. Even
No, but
go ahead.
the point, yeah, I know it's TV, but the point I'm trying to make, like, and I see what you're trying to say, but the point I'm trying to make, like, Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless and Chris Broussard and Rob Parker, they were all journalists for a long time. They didn't just get up
Yeah,
on TV, you know what I mean? They paid their dues, and then they
yeah.
gained that credibility in order to have these TV shows. So the point I'm trying to make is, we need more black journalists. I know every show can't need some former athlete there to give their opinions, and it helps if you play the game. Not saying you know everything, because there's some. I feel like I learned from some guys that didn't play the game more than some guys that did. But
Right.
I think it's important, like, to have journalists up there. I think that's very, very important. But yeah, for most of what you said, I agree with. With the Tom Brady thing, I love it. Tom Brady's a really, really smart mind. Arguably, not the quarterback of all time, and arguably one of the smartest quarterbacks of all time. So why not have him transition into the booth and be a analyst? I think he'll do a really solid job. Doesn't mean he won't. I feel like some guys struggle, like Drew Brees. I think that's part of the reasons why we're hearing rumors about him maybe trying to come back, because
He got sacked, man.
it's not that as easy maybe as it looks. And some guys, it's hard for them to do that job. But I think Tom Brady would be really good. I think Fox just gets it. You have Troy Aikman, who was, in my opinion, one of the best analysts uh, who ever called games, and now you're trying to replace him with a guy like Tom Brady. I think that's just smart by Fox, and I can't wait to see him in the booth. But it could be a couple of years before that happens, but I can't wait.
Go ahead, Leo.
I really think that it's listening to that man. Congratulations to Tom Brady. You know, you go from really seamlessly from one career to another in a profession where you see a lot of people, struggle to go after pro football. You see, he was kind of struggling with it, and But for him to get that opportunity, man, it's nothing short of fantastic, phenomenal. Like Brian said, you're gonna go from being one of the best quarterbacks probably to ever play. And I know probably definitely to seamlessly transition to another field. It's actually very admirable. Like I'm happy for him. See another one of your favorite guys, Drew Brees, is doing it too. Even though it might be talks he coming out of retirement with, that's another topic. But Tony Romo, obviously, Troy Aikman, obviously. If DB is old enough to remember Joe Theismann, all those guys,
Yeah.
quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
group guys that are seamlessly transition from the field to the booth and whatnot. And so, just really happy for Tom Brady. Not a lot of people are saying, oh well, a lot of people are saying that but I'm not gonna say that because they're never gonna be looked down on the next man. Congratulations to him.
Okay. Yeah, but my issue with the whole we need black journalists on the airways. I would say this, and people probably a lot of people want to agree with this when I say this, but if these networks want to bring on black journalists, bring on new talents, they can do it if they want to, because the people were out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they always talk about there's diversity issues in the field, but the people are there for you to hire. You know what I'm saying? I just think that they don't want to take the time out to develop people. You know what I'm saying? They just rather have people that are like naturally born trash talkers, like athletes, to take these roles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think talent is there to bring on black journalists, in my opinion. They just don't want to do it.
But also, to be fair, how many black journalists are out there that are
A lot of them.
made for TV? And when I say
Oh,
made for
that's
TV,
true. That's true. That's true.
made for TV doesn't mean you have to be like Stephen A. Smith. But most black. I actually let me be careful because I should do my research before I say this. But when you think of like, let's say I'm a journalist, I'm not saying I would love to be on TV, but most of my work will probably be what I'm writing, and obviously this podcast I'm doing. But that's when you think of a journalist, a black journalist, you're probably going to think of them more on the writing side, and instead of maybe being in the radio or being on TV. So I think that's something we can evolve with. But yeah, I see a lot of your points, but I hope that's something we can change. We can change that narrative. And look, if worst case scenario, if we need to start our own sports networks, all that, then why not? Why not? I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, man, but just because, hey, just because you like podcasting and on air TV, like live TV is like two different things, man. A lot of people don't realize that, man. It's a lot of work. And I even noticed Patrick Beverly up there struggling a little bit with his stuff, his delivery. So it is what it is, man. It don't bother me that much. I just wish we could see. I wish we could have more black journalists come on these shows, more natural talent, a person that didn't play sports, play the game to get a shot. But I see what you're saying, though. But we'll see. Hopefully. All right, man. That's all we have for y'all for right now, man. Give us a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Listen to this through YouTube or Facebook, um, Apple, Spotify. Give us 5-star rating. Leave your comments. Leave you like, hate. Please follow us. Check us out at strike7sports.com for latest content on NFL, the NBA, and much more. And have a blessed night. We'll be back next week. Peace. We out.